Well, if you watch my videos, you know that I'm a big believer in coming back to bottles that you may not have liked before, giving them another shot down the road, seeing if your palate's changed, because the palate certainly is always changing and evolving, seeing if you like it anymore. Sometimes you might like it less, but always giving it another shot, come back to it another time, and see what you think. We're going to do that right now. We're going to review 1792 Small Batch, 93.7 proof. So I've spoken about this in many of my videos. It's just one of those bottles that I really didn't like when I had it. And it seems to be a pattern with some of these small batch / lower proof bottles. In this case, I had this first, didn't like it. But then much later on, I went and had this 1792 full proof, specifically a store pick. I had one before this, and absolutely loved it. Similar trend, Elijah Craig, which I actually did like originally, but I guess I liked it less once I tried the barrel proof because that's just off the charts. And then when I had the small batch 94 proof, I just didn't like it as much. And another trend, same thing with the Larceny small batch. I think the small batch tastes like sand. I love the barrel proof. So there seems to be a trend where same brand, same juice, just like the higher proof better. But this one, it just, I just didn't like it. So I thought, it's been some time. Let me come back to it. I certainly didn't want to spend for a full 750 milliliter bottle. Not that it's that expensive. This is like in the 30s in New Jersey. This one is half bottle, 375. So this was about $17. But I preferred to get a small bottle. There's no 100 milliliters. So since I didn't like it, I saw this behind the counter. I'm like, that's it. Here's my chance. I'm going to give it another shot. So that's what we're going to do right now. And we're going to be open-minded about it right here. So just a few quick facts. This is the flagship of the Barton 1792 distillery. It's gone through a few name changes. I think it was originally called 1792 Ridgewood Reserve, then 1792 Ridgemont Reserve, and then the 1792 Small Batch. And I've been in some stores where, they have the labels, where it is, what it is, and the price. Many of them still have Ridgemont. I guess they haven't really moved the product, but I've never had it when it was Ridgemont. I've only had it here, so maybe I would have liked it better then, because at that time it had an 8-year age statement, from what I understand, written on the back. They dropped it in 2013, had this. Now this is no age statement, but they said it's at least 4, so less age. And obviously people who have had it have said the quality of it is not the same. So maybe I would have liked that. Not so thrilled on this. Mash bill, just like with this, since Sazerac owns Buffalo Trace and owns the Barton 1792 distillery, it's thought that either it's the same or very similar to the Buffalo Trace Mash Bill number 2, the high rye bourbon. It's not officially put out there, but if we would think it would be somewhere in the range of 75 corn, 15% rye, 10% malted barley, at least 15%, because it's definitely considered a high rye bourbon. Maybe many people think it just actually is the same juice as the Mash Bill number 2 or something very similar to it. So I'm going to pour this up and let's be open-minded. In terms of price, basically, since this is the Sazerac, you think about the benchmark small batch. This is a small batch in regular size is in the mid-30s. The small batch for benchmark's about $18. So younger juice, again, the trend with benchmark, it's younger juice and it's just about half the price. I did the benchmark full proof, against this, much less expensive. They both were really, really neck and neck. I almost forgot which one won, but it was that close. So anyway, let's pour this up. Let's be open-minded. I'm going to act like I never had it before, and let's see what we think now. Okay, so we got it poured up. That was a so-so core pop. I tried it again when the camera was off. It was actually better. Whatever. Let's see what this actually tastes like. First, look at the color. Color's fine. Nice copperish color. Let's give this a nose. I'm getting a little bit of that rye in there. I know it's the full proof. I know that nose is definitely a stronger one. This is 93.7 proof. All right, let's give this a taste. Let's see if we like it any better. Cheers. Yeah. I think I see why I didn't like it. I may like it a drop better than I did the first time. It's certainly better than, I feel this is better than the Larceny small batch. Not sure how it compares to Elijah Craig, but I can see why. Let me just give us another taste. You definitely get more rye than, certainly in those other types of bottles. But I just think the taste is, to me, not terrific, you know, at this proof level. I think maybe it's just that it tastes young. It's another thing I noticed. There are some bottles at the younger proof, at a lower proof, even if they're young, you know, rather at the higher proof, even if they're young, they taste better. But the youngness seems to come out when the proof is low. The higher proof seems to mask it a little bit. That might be the case with this. I'm going to do two things right now. Or maybe I'll do that for a blind. I think I'm going to do the small batch. I'm either going to do the Benchmark small batch, which I have a little bit left in a decanter, or this. I'll do that in a blind. But right now, let me just put this side by side, see how much better that is right next to it. Okay, I have the 1792 full proof here. This is the 1792 small batch. They're two different glasses. They're not identical glasses, but you can clearly see, at least I can from here, that this is the small batch, this is the full proof. The full proof looks darker, which theoretically would make sense because there's less water in it. So it's less diluted. It should be technically be darker, and it's the same juice. So let me try this side by side. Let's do the small batch. Cheers. Full proof. Cheers. Yeah, it's much better. Nothing's different. It's the same juice, same mash bill. I'm not sure if that's the same age. I couldn't say that because this is a single barrel. The regular one from the store, the non-single barrel, maybe, but this is a single barrel. This might be older. So this may not be a perfect example, but that wasn't even the point of it. I just like it better with the higher proof. Also, let me just we'll do this in reverse, but the nose is definitely stronger with this. Okay. I think we proved the point. Look, we'll finish this up. I might want to do I know people make old fashions with this. We're going to experiment with it a little bit. So it's not, one more. I've had worse, but I think in this one, I'm kind of sticking with my original opinion. Maybe it's a little bit better, but the higher proof is just so much better. But, you know, these are mid-30s. In New Jersey, I'd like to compare it. I mean, this single barrel from Benchmark is 28. The Benchmark small batch is 18. I like to see how those compare. I might use a little bit of that decanter. We'll do it in a blind. We'll put this in a blind, maybe all three. We'll see how that is. Cheers.